was able to, as scenes play out in Jason's head, in his character's head, I get to do all sorts of things to him. Hit him with roses and break up with him in several ways. I think I kidnapped you at some point. Like all sorts of craziness ensues. And because you play out the scenarios in the head and then snap back to reality. But all those scenarios let us have so much free reign to go really crazy and have fun. And I got to do all that stuff. And Jason had to sort of be there and take the brunt of my ridiculousness, which hopefully translates into a fun time. I certainly enjoy actually watching that movie, which I usually hate to watch myself, but I really enjoy watching that movie.
And the next film, Out of Body, which I co-wrote, so I co-wrote Analysis Paralysis with my dad, and he's been on set pretty much every single time, being my eyes and ears, because I'm directing the films as well, indie low budget land, and so I'm directing them. But when you're acting on camera, it's hard to direct fully, being in the moment and being in character. So my dad has been the eyes and ears at the monitor, and before production we always talk about stuff and figure things out. And he helped co-write that one, so he really knew the script. For Out of Body, I was really thrilled to work with my mom, Suzanne Brockman, who co-wrote that script with me, and it definitely was a more edgy film. Still got a ton of comedy in it, but it's got a lot more romance. So where Analysis Paralysis was a romantic comedy, Out of Body is a romantic comedy. And I'm really looking forward for you guys to see that, because it's a Halloween themed film, got a little paranormal stuff in it. Kevin plays a guy who basically gets displaced from his body and has to haunt my character to make me believe that he's actually there. And we're hoping for some good news with Out of Body soon as to where and when you can see it. And if you want to keep in touch to find out more about Out of Body, you can sign up for My Pet Hippo Productions newsletter, which is tinyletter.com/mypethippo. And then we'll keep you up to date on how you can watch Out of Body. And the final project, just real quick, Marriage of Inconvenience, is actually going to be a series about two gentlemen in witness protection who join a new program of witness protection where they end up getting married to get extra benefits, and they're kind of a modern day odd couple. And I'm actually going to be that series is going to be on Deku, on that streaming site Deku, as an original series, and I'll be playing opposite another friend of mine, David Allen Singletary, for that series. But Kevin will be in it, and he's going to be playing a role that has quite a pivotal storyline in upcoming seasons. So I'm really looking forward to you guys seeing that.
Great.
Yeah, I'm excited to when production can get back into swing in the world. I'm excited to be doing it.
Excellent. You have got so much work coming out of here too, and you've got the the ability. Well, soon I know it's probably COVID has probably interfered with your work here as well, like everybody has here, and so.
Sure.
But yeah, we definitely want to get more information on that. Can you make some other interesting comments here too about your work that you're working on, and from My Pet Hippo, or other work that you're planning to do here in the future? We have a few minutes left here, so.
Sure. So Out of Body, like I said, is hopefully coming out soon. We're actually working right now to figure out to get a trailer made and a poster made for that. And Marriage of Inconvenience. So we actually do a lot of filming at our house, at Matt and my husband and my house, for budget reasons, because renting a location in LA can take up a lot of your budget. And if you don't have that much money, you try to figure out ways to save on those kind of costs so that you can pay the crew and the cast, a more decent wage. And so what's kind of funny is we were about to start filming right before COVID struck. So thankfully we were not mid-production because that could have really messed us up. But we were basically a week and a half before production. And so everyone was ready to go and everything just shut down. And, but the house has been decorated to look like the set for Marriage of Inconvenience, because I do all this pre-production stuff for all the films. And I purposely wrote the house that the two guys live in for Marriage of Inconvenience to be kind of boho chic, but like boho tragic chic. Like someone tried to go boho chic, but didn't quite get how to do it. So, you know, we have these giant curtains with big pink frills that are like they're just not cute. Like I purposely went out for ones that are not cute. Cause like you can find cute frilly pink curtains. These ones are not that. These ones are definitely the opposite. So basically Matt and I have been trapped in our house, which has been designed to annoy the characters. And so we're just basically sitting around being like, how great is it that we have these curtains? And like,
why are you experimenting on yourselves like that?
When you have friends visiting, do they make comments on it?
Well, but before the COVID, they got put up, and everyone was like, "Wow, I bet you're glad that you're about to film, so you can take that down." And I was like, "You know it." And then, of course, now we're on hold, and so. And, you know, and what's funny is this actually happened with Out of Body too. We were about to start filming Out of Body, and the house to us next door sold to flippers, and you cannot film when construction's happening next door. And and so I had decked out the house in Halloween decorations, and so for 7 months we had the house decorated for Halloween to wait until we could start filming. So I'm not too unfamiliar with that, but that's kind of the My Pet Hippo way. You decorate the house and you live with it for a while,
and you hope for the best. You know, and eventually that holiday will come around again.
Yeah, another project I'm actually psyched about though that My Pet Hippo Productions is doing in the meantime is we're actually gonna, and I know we're gonna talk more about this later. We're working on a set of audiobooks for a set of novellas, a comedy novella series that my dad and I wrote called the California Comedy Series. We're going to do some audiobooks with a bunch of actors, kind of like a radio show. And because I was looking for a way to do a project with actors in quarantine, and this was a way to kind of get people who were planning to work on Marriage of Inconvenience work in the meantime, and get some other friends of mine who I've wanted to work with for a while but haven't had a role for them, something to do, and so that's going to be kind of interesting. So I'm working on that. I've also got a new toy coming on Monday that's going to allow me to kind of learn the basics of animation in the attempt of maybe I'll learn how to animate a super rudimentary animated thing in the hopes of finding a way to make a tiny animated series that's funny. Because these are things that people can do from home, you know, like we can safely film animated stuff or audiobooks, etc., from home, because then there's not a giant crew and stuff. So that's kind of, we're on hold until there's a vaccine or some sort of medical assistance for film production, but there's definitely stuff in the pipeline.
Excellent. Listen, we have about 2 minutes to wrap up here. I want each of you to make some comments on what we just talked about here in the 2 minutes, and then we're going to introduce about your comedy novellas that you're going to be doing in our next interview coming up next week.
Mm-hmm. Well, for my part, I can just say that My Pet Hippo has been really, really generous with me. I've been so lucky to be working with Jason and his husband Matt over the course of 2 films and other projects as well. You know, it's really a blessing, because you as an actor, you don't get to, you know, I've always wanted to be part of a stable of actors, and I get to with My Pet Hippo, and you know, Jason is very loyal with the people that he casts and loves and works well with. So I feel really blessed to be one of those people.
Excellent.
And I want to piggyback on that. And say, you know, it's so rare. It can be rare in this industry to find people who are very talented and have a great work ethic and actually show up and know their stuff. And so when you find people like Kevin Held, you don't let them go because you're like, oh, good Lord, I don't need another actor showing up who can't remember their lines or can't do this. And like, so when I first worked with Kevin, I was like, oh my God. And I was working with him the first time as a fellow actor. And it was really refreshing that like he knew his lines. He was acting full out. He was funny and he was fun off screen. So it's like you can get some really talented people who aren't a joy to be next to you on set. And so it's when you find good people like Kevin and some of the other actors I've worked with, you definitely keep writing stuff for them.
Excellent. Okay, fellas, listen, thank you so much for being here again this week, and we're looking forward to having you back again next week when we're going to talk about California's comedy novellas, and that's going to be an interesting program. So thank you for listening, and I hope you've enjoyed today's discussion. This has been Coastal Progressive and Rainbow Forum on Society Bites Radio, and I have been your host, Steve Ryan.